Coming up next, an interview with an icon of early rock and roll. This guy was only 15 years old when he became the singer behind a band that would go on to garner 18 big hits, including 11 that hit the top 10 here in America. Several of them went all the way to number 1. In fact, before this lad had his 18th birthday, he and his band finished ahead of the Beatles on the Billboard year-end survey for top group. It was actually on the strength of 2 big hits that year, kept his band in the top 10 for 6 straight months, including today's song that was actually from the year 1910. It caught on because it was so easy to sing and so easy to remember. This is because the band repeated the exact same verse 3 times. It's because they only knew one verse of the song, even though the song originally had many verses. It made it one of the most famous novelty songs ever, maybe even one of the most annoying. See what you think next. The story is straight from the legend coming up next. Hey, music junkies, Professor of Rock, always here to celebrate the greatest artists and the greatest songs of all time. You know, if you remember fixing yourself a nice cup of Tang growing up, you're going to dig this channel of deep musical nostalgia. Make sure to subscribe below right now and click the bell so you always know when our new ones drop. Also, check out our exclusive content on Patreon and our latest merch below. I also have my Chaos record shirt on. Thank you so much to them. We got a great one for you today. One of the great voices of the 60s, it's our latest edition of Revelations, where featured artists go deep on their greatest songs and albums, stories you truly won't find anywhere else. Today, we have a guest that really grabbed life by the horns as a youngster. When he was 15, he headed up a British band that would be on the forefront of the British invasion, started by their heroes, the Beatles. And just a few years later, before this young singer turned 18, he and his band would surpass their heroes, the Fab Four. Talking about Peter Noone and his band Herman's Hermits.
No milk today, it seems a common sight, but people passing by.
Noone was born in Lancashire, England. He was the second of 5 children. He was also the son of 2 accountants. He would emphasize that his parents had 0 input in his career other than to teach him to be independent and to always be honest, steadfast, and true. His words. Peter Noone studied voice and drama at St. Bede's College at the Manchester School of Music, where he won the Outstanding Young Musician Award. At 15, he became the lead singer of Herman's Hermits, who were discovered by Harvey Lisberg. The other Hermits were Derek Leckenby and Keith Hopwood on guitar, Carl Green on bass, Barry Wimwam played the drums. The band would go on to sell over 60 million records on the strength of 11 top 10 hits in America and 18 top 40 hits overall, including the number ones, Mrs. Brown, You've Got a Lovely Daughter.
Mrs. Brown, you've got a lovely daughter.
And today's song, I'm Henry VIII I Am.
I'm Henry VIII I am, Henry VIII I am.
Both of which kept the Hermits in the US top 10 for an astounding 24 weeks straight. At the end of the year, Billboard magazine ranked them America's top singles act of the year. Beatles were at number 2. Imagine that. They were your heroes and you passed them up. I'm Henry VIII I Am was a remake of the 1910 Cockney-style music hall song I'm Henry VIII I Am. The guys sang the same verse over and over and over and over again because it's the only verse that they actually knew. This probably helped him in the short run when the song hit number 1 and became easy to sing along to and a bit of a novelty song that was easy to remember and laugh along with. But in the long run, it made it one of the most annoying songs ever, according to some people, as proven by Patrick Swayze in the movie Ghost, for sure. That's a good song. Up next, Peter Noone tells the story of this classic hit and the band's dominance of the 60s. Great interview.
Herman's Hermits, when we made our first record, I was 16. There were two of the other Hermits were 17. We had an old drummer who was 18. And when you think about it, we were it's kind of punkish, really. We didn't really have a plan other than we thought this was a good idea. And we would do different. And right from the beginning, that we would do, the Mrs. Brown, You Got a Lovely Daughter song was created because Keith Hopwood, the guitar player, got a Chet Atkins Country Gentleman guitar, and it had a damper on it, which goes from a clang to a tonka 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 tonk. And we knew Tom Courtney was in a play on the television with that song in it. Mrs. Brown, you've got a lovely daughter. And we got it and we learnt it.
Mrs. Brown, you've got a lovely daughter.
In order to be in the game and get paid for it, you had to be unique. So every band was different. You know, there were loads of bands who were the same, but the ones who made it were all different. The Stones weren't like the Beatles,
No.
and the Beatles weren't like the Who or the Kinks or the Honeycombs. Everyone was kind of unique. And I think we chose a good one, which was to be very English.
Mrs. Brown, you've got a lovely daughter.
Chicago radio station, another cool fact that I always found is that on the big station there, WLS, Mrs. Brown and Silhouettes.
The dim light dance, two silhouettes on the shade.
Were 1 and 2, and then the next week they went 1 and 2, and then they switched places. And the only other band in the history of that radio station to do that was the Beatles.
Chicago was kind of one of those places that we did well in Chicago.
Well, at that time, you were at the height. I mean, Time Magazine, you were on the cover of Time Magazine with the Supremes and the Beach Boys talking about rock and roll, Petula Clark. You guys were just
That was
at
the
this,
peak, yeah.
You
Well,
were.
But you see, because we didn't have a plan, all that happened. You can't plan that kind of stuff. So because we didn't have a plan, that year that we were on, I didn't even know I was on the cover of Time Magazine. How would I know?
Gosh.
I didn't look at magazines.
Yeah, you were just...
I might have looked
You were
at
going on to the
Playboy
next
magazine
thing.
sometime, but I would never look at Time Magazine. I had no interest in politics at all, apart from what affected my parents. And we did 360 concerts that year. So we were making records in 3 hours,
Jeez.
albums in 3 hours, making singles that go to #1 in America. And America was only 5% of Herman's market.
Yeah.
This was a small country to us. We only had 50 days a year here. This was a small market for us.
Yeah.
We traveled the world. We'd go to the airport. First of all, we'd get in the van and go to London airport, and then we'd go to France, Belgium, Holland, Germany, Switzerland, Italy, Spain,
Jeez.
and then Israel, then Hong Kong, then Australia, then the Philippines, and then come back to America, do Canada for 10 days, then 50 American dates, because we were only allowed to do so many dates. And then we'd go back to England, and then we go for France, Belgium, Holland, Germany, Switzerland. That's all.
Well,
we
that's
ever
why
did.
you had top
we-
5 hits in every one of these countries. you
Everywhere.
know?
We sold
You did. Mind-blowing, you know?
We sold a lot of records in England. People forget. People say, oh, you were bigger in America. No, we were much bigger in England than we were in America. We had a fantastic record career in England. Sold lots of records in
Oh,
England.
yeah.
So what I'm trying to say, look, we were just on the road. We didn't want any of the other stuff. We just wanted to play. That's all we did. We didn't train
Every
for
night.
any other part. Well, we got to make and then they start, now you got to make an album with a thing. No, our albums are all the songs that we made that didn't become singles. And you see those albums now, you go, they should have been singles. It's For Your Love is on the first album.
For love, I'd give you everything and more, that's for sure.
We gave that to the Yardbirds. Bus Stop, we gave that away to the Hollies.
Yeah.
And they were friends of ours.
Bus stop when they choose there, I say, we shall mile.
The Yardbirds are our friends as well, not since they had a #1 with that record. But we used to record a load of stuff that
Yeah.
we just didn't spend enough time on it. Or Mickey didn't think it was a hit. He didn't think Mrs. Brown, You Got a Lovely Daughter was a hit. But he did think Henry VIII was a hit.
Let's talk about that. I'm Henry VIII, I Am. #1, of course, in America. Used the Cockney accent. And that actually knocked Can't Get No Satisfaction off of #1 in America.
That's funny. That's funny. I was there when that happened as well. We were in New York in a hotel and the Stones were there, and that was like funny that. Because Satisfaction is a great record.
Oh, yeah.
But the knocking thing off #1, everybody knew it wasn't really a competition. That's sort of a modern American theme. We were all totally different. Stones weren't like Herman's Hermits.
Beach Boys, the Stones, the Birds, the Beatles.
Everybody's
All
different.
you guys were different. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what made it such a
whoever
diverse
was
and great-
#1, we didn't.
Yeah.
Dave Clark knocked Beatles from #1.
Yeah.
Only newspapermen think of stuff like that.
Well,
But
1910 British Music Hall song by Fred Murray and R.P. Weston. I mean, it's an old song.
Yeah, but it was a pretty
Traditional.
well-known English
Yeah.
song. People, for example, my grandfather used to have a drink, a rum and peppermint, like once a year. It's a weird drink. I've never ever heard everybody, I'll have a rum and peppermint. He was from Ireland. I'll have a rum and peppermint. And he'd have a rum and peppermint and he'd get on the piano. I mean, didn't play the piano. We'd get on the piano and sing not our version of Henry VIII.
Right.
The original version was, I'm Henry VIII, I am.
Yeah.
Henry VIII, I am.
Henry VIII, I am.
So we get in the studio and we're looking for another Mrs. Brown who got like a daughter. And Mickey says, how about that, Henry VIII song? It's it's naff, it just got no, So he says, well, so play Chuck Berry Lick on the beginning and, put a rock beat to it. And that is really one take. And the whole set, imagine if we'd had an A&R man. They would have said, write another verse. They would have ruined it. The whole magic of the moment.
Well,
If
it was
ever
even
a
the
band-
moment that you said second verse, same as first. That was you. That was never planned.
Second verse, same as the first. I'm Henry VIII, I am.
An A&R man would say, go and write a second verse and
I
put some
know.
strings on it. You know what I mean? And the ends need to be, we need a modulation. So, but Hermits would just have the moment. It was real punk, really, because we said, that's
Yeah.
finished. And we would say, we want it out on Thursday.
Yeah.
Because it's summer and we'll be on tour. And, we were so preposterous. All stuff that now is major planning and everything. We were a band of the moment.
It was the fastest selling song in history at that point. The fastest song in history.
We couldn't believe it, because it was done as a kind of, I expected it to be a number one, but I never expected it to be just a massive.
Oh, yeah.
People still today. I sing it in shows. It's like Ring of Fire for Johnny Cash. Everybody knows all the words.
I'm Henry VIII, I am. Henry VIII, I am.
It's one of those songs that has stayed in pop culture forever and will be 100 years from now. And Harry Champion, that was kind of his signature song back in the day.
I'm a bit of a nobody and belong to royalty. I'll tell you how we got about.
Nobody even knows that. You've got the signature version.
I got married to the widow next door. She's been married 7 times before. And
But the second verse, same as first, Connie Francis, when she did it, she copied that.
The Ramones did it as
Yeah,
well.
oh yeah, the
Second verse,
Ramones
second
did
verse.
it, and Elvis Presley did it.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah, that's cute. I never heard
And
that.
you interviewed Elvis.
He was wonderful. He
Yeah,
was
you're
a
like one of only a
true
few
gent.
people in the world that ever interviewed Elvis.
I think, they didn't let him do interviews because they thought they wanted everybody to think he was like, he was a funny guy. Repartee, he was the king of repartee. He wasn't the king of rock and roll. He was the king. He was a funny guy. And they punked us. When we got there, they'd take us in this, he was making a movie and it was in Hawaiian huts and everything. And he's in that hut there and we go in there and there's this like sprawled out, reeking of alcohol, like face down guy with the same hair as Elvis. And we like, what do? Kicking, hey, Elvis, so we just standing there. And then Elvis came in. We were punked. It's not, his double from the movie was pretending to be, whoever is his double in the movie was there. Pretty funny. So, and he was interesting, and I asked him, who's your favorite group? I like the Beatles, and I like the Stones, and, Herman's Hermits, Just cool. He's a cool guy.
Yeah, that man.
I liked him. I
Oh,
liked him a lot.
Well, and the fact that he covered it, but then of course,
I didn't even know that.
I remember the Danny Kaye show when the portrait came alive, when you were doing the song.
a little bit louder and a little bit worse.
I'm Henry.
That was always so
I remember
funny.
he was a good guy as well, Danny Kaye. See, all the people that I really liked, I was always impressed with them as people. And I was like,
Because you got to
thank
meet
God.
all these guys,
Yeah, but I wanted to meet, I specifically wanted to meet certain people. Elvis was like Johnny Cash, Jackie Wilson.
Oh, yeah.
All the people that were still alive that I wanted to meet, I made a point of going to meet them. And I told people, what are you doing here? Well, I'd like to meet Harry Truman. I had plans when I got into town. And I knew cops. In every town, they used to get a cop to be my minder. The minder that the band employed, I could lose him instantly.
Wow.
He was so easy to lose, so they could get a cop who knew everything that was going on. And if you wanted to know what was going on, where not to go and where to go into town, get a cop. So I met this guy and said, I'd like to see Sarah Vaughan. Sarah Vaughan? Yeah, she's playing in Atlantic City. I could see, in those days you could find it. Agents had route maps where people were playing. So this cop from Philadelphia drove me to a bar in Atlantic City so I could meet Sarah Vaughan.
I get misty just holding your hand.
Well, Henry VIII, kind of go back to that for a second. When they first did it, it was almost like NRE, the eighth I am, you know, and you guys, it's actually called Henry when they did the song. You guys spelled it a little bit different. It's kind of an interesting fact there. But always the thing that's so funny is Ghost, when they used it in Ghost.
Henry VIII I am. Henry VIII I am.
People still do that, you know. Yeah. I mean, it's still, you know, because you can sing somebody to death. It was quite
a plot device, because that's how he got Whoopi Goldberg's character to go speak to, and it also kind of put back to how he got his wife to go out with him, is to sing.
I'm going next time I see Whoopi Goldberg, I'm going to sing that to her.
All right, stop singing. I'll go anywhere you want to, just don't sing anymore.
But also Homer Simpson. I mean, when we talk about how it's been used in pop culture, Homer Simpson used it in the episode, I think it was like Magical History Tour or something, and he changed the lyrics to food things.
I've been eating since 6 a.m. For dessert, I'll have dinner again.
But also All in the Family. You know, it was used in Archie Bunker. It was his 50th birthday, and they used that. Patty Duke show back in your day. Patty Duke did it as well.
It's a great song, and because we were British, people thought it was about King Henry VIII, and it's not really about King Henry VIII, but why tell anybody what it's about? Because it's not a good story. Some idiot who wants to marry a woman who's murdered 7 people. With the same, oh, my name's Henry, maybe I'll get murdered too.
No Sam, no Willie. You know?
She wouldn't have a Sam or a Willie.
She wouldn't have a Willie nor a Sam. No Sam. I'm a right old man, I'm Henry.
And in England, all the innuendo of no Willie and no Sam is in that song. You know, it's sexual innuendo. So I think it was good that it was like a little kiddie sing-along song that had some magical roots about a woman who had 7 men called Henry who'd all mysteriously disappeared. And this idiot goes, oh, that's a good story. Hey, my name's Henry.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Leave us a comment about Peter Noone and Hermits. Can you believe this guy was on top of the world at 18 years of age, even before he was 18, surpassing the Beatles? Leave us a comment about Henry VIII. I'm Henry VIII, I am. It's just a sing-along, catchy song that gets stuck in your head for sure. What are your memories of it? What are your memories of the British invasion? What else should we cover from that time? Let us know. If you like our content, we invite you to subscribe. We would love to have you as part of our community. Until next time, 3 chords and the truth, my friends.